Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Irena Sofia Zahri and I'm from the English Education Department in Universitas Riau. I am currently a 5th semester student from 5B class. In today's video, we're going to talk about teaching methodology, one of the essential topics in language education. So make sure to stay tuned and watch until the end to get a clear understanding of this interesting subject. Let's get started. First is language teaching approach, an overview from Marin Kelsey Murica, by explaining that the fields of second or foreign language teaching has experienced many shifts over time. Language teaching often follows cultural and intellectual trends, moving between focusing on using a language for communication and analyzing a language structure. Historical background: before the 20th century, language teaching alternated between two main goals. First, getting learners to use a language, speak and understand it, and second, getting learners to analyze a language, learn its grammar and rules. Classical Latin and Greek teaching emphasized grammar and translation. During the Renaissance, this grammatical focus became the foundation of the grammar translation approach, which was dominant in Europe until the 19th century. 20th century approach. First, grammar translation. Approach focuses on reading and writing grammar rules and translation. Speaking and listening are neglected. Second, direct approach. The use of the native language grammar taught inductively, emphasized on oral communication and vocabulary through situation. Third, reading approach. Developed in the US 1920 until 1940, reading comprehension is the main goal, using controlled vocabulary and grammar. Fourth, audiolingual approach. Based on behaviorist psychology and structural linguistics, language learning is viewed as habit formation with drills and repetition. And the last, oral situational approach. Similar to audiolingualism, but focus on practicing structure in real-life context or situation. Example, the post office, restaurant, and etc. Communicative language teaching for the 21st century. What is CLT? Savinon defines communicative language teaching as an approach that focuses on developing learners' communicative competence, their ability to use the language appropriately and effectively in real-life situations. This competence includes not just grammatical knowledge, but also the ability to interpret, express, and negotiate meaning in context. The chapter explains that the goal of CLT is to prepare learners to be active participants in the communication process rather than passive receivers of language input. Communication is viewed as an interactive, collaborative exchange of meaning, not simply the transfer of information. CLT in Asia, Japan, and Taiwan. Savinon discusses how Japan and Taiwan have adopted CLT in their education system. In Japan, the Ministry of Education introduced communicative competence as a goal in the 1989 course of study for English, later revised in 1998 to include both primary and secondary levels. The goal was to help students express themselves and interact meaningfully in English. There will be guidelines for language classroom instruction. First, introduction. The chapter focuses on what happens inside of the language classroom, especially the interaction between teacher and student. The core of second language or SL teaching and learning. Well-external knowledge such as curriculum design, materials development, or evaluation is essential for professional teaching. The essence of classroom teaching lies in the nature of instruction and interaction between teachers and learners. Second, language presentation. Learners must decide which elements of the language to focus on according to the objectives of the lesson. These objectives depend on the syllabus and broader course goals. And the last, task. The next major step in executing classroom lesson involves practice and learning of the material. In this section will be identify the primary units of classroom teaching and evaluate the components of those that most influence learning to aid discussion and communication among teachers as well as for the sake of comparative research. It's useful to have a set of terms to describe similar teaching procedures. English for specific purposes, or ESP, tailoring courses to student needs and to the outsider world. What is ESP? ESP is a movement in language teaching that focuses on learner specific goals, usually academic, professional, or vocational. Unlike general English, ESP courses are built from a careful needs analysis. First, what a student needs English for example, job, studies, research, migration, etc. Second, the target situation where they will use it, example, hospital, labs, business meeting, classrooms. Third, the skills, genres, and discourses they must master, for example, reports, interview, lab result, proposal, etc. ESP categories. ESP is divided into several main areas. First, English for academic purposes, or EAP, for students in higher education, research paper, academic writing. And second, English for occupational purposes, or EOP, for jobs and workplace. And third, vocational ESL or VESL, English for specific trades, nursing, mechanics, tourism, etc. And the last, English for business economics or EBE, business correspondence, negotiation, presentation, etc. And the last material will be syllabus. A syllabus in a structured plan for what will be taught in a course. Noonan explains different approach to syllabus design and how they reflect teaching goals. Type of syllabus. First, grammatical or structural, organized around grammar points. Second, lexical, organized around vocabulary and expression. Third, vocational or notional, organized around communicative function, example, apologizing, requesting. And fourth, task-based, organized around real-life tasks learners will perform, example, writing an email, conducting an interview. And the last, content-based, organized around subject matter or topics common in ASP. That's all for today's video about teaching methodology. I hope this video helps you understand the topic better and gives you some useful insight into language teaching. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more educational content. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Stay healthy, stay classy. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.